绝望吗？这就是人形的命运。是时候改变了，碰一下拳头。就算我们约定好了。交给我就好。
Hi everyone, welcome back to another CN meta update video. The CN Gunsmoke for this season ended just a couple days back and I was able to collect about 200 teams data used this time. This was Lainie's season. She is the newest CN physical sentinel doll introduced this time around, but she has not been able to revitalize the physical comp in any way, which is unfortunate. She is letting the Ump sisters down, damn it. The physical comp desperately needs a solid hyper DPS like Leva for electric, and Lainie could not fulfill that role. Where is she in the meta usage rate? She is down here, and as we can see, her highest usage rate is with the core electric comp alongside Yuhi. We do see a few physical teams like this one and this one, but they do not have a very high usage numbers in general. If we wanna check out the overall meta team comps, no surprises again, the best two team comps remain the Burn team and the Hydro Corrosion team. Although the dataset is not huge, I do think it's pretty indicative of the general popularity of the team's meta. For non-whales who usually just do 2 attacks per day, I do see these two team comps, slight variations at best, being used the most. While the Burn comp has been pretty solid for the past few Gunsmoke seasons, we don't see much variations there. The only changes we see are if they are using Sarkari or Peri. But with Sarkari's expansion key, she is the more preferred choice in there. While for the Hydro Corrosion team, it used to be this one before Nikita's release, but recently I keep seeing increased usage rate of Nikita instead of Misty in that comp, as we see here, but the idea is the same. Now the third most popular meta comp is the electric comp, as we see in this one and this one. In fact, I'm pretty sure if we add these together, since they are all the variations of the same idea, its popularity is on par with the other two comps. So we can't really say it's the third most popular. All these three team comps are the current tier 0 meta comps in CN. The electric core remains to be Andori's Lena and Leva, and the +2 units for F2Ps are Sinia and Nemesis. Otherwise, we do see Yuhi in this comp a lot. In fact, we have been seeing Yuhi's usage rate rise along with the electric comp's rise. What's the correlation? Someone asked me in the comments last time, and it's probably of interest to us global players as he is arriving next. I'll try to touch on this a bit more again on my Yuhi review video, but the TLDR that I found is that it's Yuhi V2 Plus that's almost always being used alongside the electric team. And it's because in the recent CN Gunsmoke fights, Yuhi's single target and AoE dispel abilities line up nicely with the boss requirements on specific turns and keeps the team's phase damage buff up on the boss. Plus the defense down 2 debuff that the electric core team doesn't have access to is also huge. So even though Yuhi is not being used in this team for her main kit strengths, she fits perfectly for these boss fights into this team. It remains to be seen if her viability stays up when the boss changes, but regardless, I feel like that's a good news for the global players who's looking forward to pulling Yuhi and thinking long-term viability. Now, as you have seen in my thumbnail, well, of course I wanted to highlight it that Klukai is not the undisputed top dog in CN anymore, and her usage rate has declined quite a bit. Does that mean she is being power creeped or she fell off? Absolutely not. In my opinion, it's actually really good that there's multiple different top tier meta team comps being used in CN that are not reliant on having Klukai. We already saw, the Burn team doesn't need Klukai. It has their own hyper DPS Chihuahua. The electric team also doesn't need Klukai. Leva is their hyper DPS. And although the Hydro Corrosion team is still very top meta, we saw it slowly leaning towards 3 Hydro plus 2 Corrosion with both Nikita and Tololo together while ditching Misty. And Nikita is another fantastic hyper DPS for the Hydro team. That leaves one other element we haven't talked about yet, and it's the freeze comp. CN also got Robella last patch, while she also couldn't revive freeze comp as a whole to be in the top meta. Macchiato plus Robella is a fantastic flex duo for any team. And do you wonder where they are being used the most? It's with the Hydro core trio. So they have started replacing Klukai and the Corrosion from the Hydro Corrosion and is becoming the new Hydro freeze comp. We see these new team comps a lot as well. As you can see here, I have seen a lot of players using 3 team comps like this one in the latest Gunsmoke. And there's no sign of Klukai in any of these teams, and they are killing the boss on all 3 teams. Oh, also I forgot, there's the old Barn Hydro hybrid team, which is again pretty high up in the usage rate, and it's now 3 Hydro with Nikita plus 2 Barn. Again, all of these different team comps are slowly becoming less reliant on having Klukai as the 5th flex damage slot and having their own full comp, which is good in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure there will probably be a corrosion unit coming soon who will again push Klukai to the top. It's inevitable, we have the lowest amount of SSR corrosion units in the game. So there it is for the CN meta. Summary on the teams, we have Barn, Hydro Corrosion and Electric, all 3 tier 0 meta team comps right now. Then we have Barn Hydro and Freeze Hydro hybrid teams, especially the Freeze Hydro teams getting more popular and some good usage overall. Lastly, Physical by themselves is still not a very powerful comp and remains at the lowest usage rate for now. Hopefully soon they will have their time. If we quickly look over at the global meta, I don't wanna waste a lot of time here. Klukai with the 100% usage rate from the 500 plus teams I have collected, and it will continue to be like that for some time. It's been like that since Klukai launch, as we see from both the past seasons. This time it was Vector season, so of course the Barn team is finally taking full form and sits on top of the team usage chart. Next up is the Freeze comp, still going strong in global, and then we have some variations of the Corrosion core trio plus 2 flex units as we see here. Okay, if we add these up, this will probably be above the Freeze comp, but yeah, you get the picture. We in global finally have a good semblance of 3 different team comps with some variations here and there, and yeah, not gonna go much into discussing the past season. We have a new unit and a new season coming up, so looking forward to that. I do think that these current 3 popular team archetypes will continue to be the meta next season as well, and hopefully Yui can find her place in there. Depending on the boss buffs and debuffs, maybe a new meta archetype around Yuhi can also come up, so stay tuned and I'll try to cover that then. We pretty much have most of the elemental cores except any of Electric, and I have no idea how far they are, hopefully soon. But yeah, that's that. Just for the record, in case this is the first time you have come across this CN meta video series on my channel, this is not a tier list of character power levels. This is a web tool that I made to track teams being used in Gunsmoke Frontline each season for CN and Global. The units in those teams can be of any dupe level, so their powers are not normalized. The purpose is to figure out the usage popularity of the characters and figuring out the meta team comps. The website is accessible to anyone at exiliumstattrack.vercel.app, and you are also welcome to submit your entries for either CN or Global each season to help me out in tracking these stats. You can do so by clicking submit team, and it should explain the process and redirect to my Discord channel where you can upload your entries, which will be verified before being added to the database. That is all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have questions or more related info, feel free to share them as well. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, notification bell and stuff, and what else. Stay tuned for the full UE review and guide coming soon. Until then, see ya. Peace.